How's it going, traders? Hopefully you guys enjoy this weekly Forex forecast, and make sure to subscribe if you're new to the channel. Alright, I hope everybody had a great trading week last week, and let's start things off with the US dollar index call report. The past week, the banks added 3,000 longs, and they also added 4,821 short positions. Remember, if you want the call report spreadsheet, check out the link in the description to Patreon. Looking at the daily chart here of the US dollar, we are still, I've been talking about this for a few weeks now, we are, still in this daily uptrend, and it's very, very strong right now. So just to be straight off the bat here, I would not be trying to short the dollar right now. And if you look at the 4-hour chart here, you can see we lost momentum right here by breaking these demand zones, leaving us with this supply zone and a nice little trade off that supply zone. But we ended up breaking up above this supply zone, leaving us with demand. And look at the reaction we had off of that demand zone. So clearly on the 4-hour chart, momentum is starting to pick back up again. It won't really be super clear what's going to happen until this high is removed. Once that high is removed, I think all signs are pointing to the upside on the DXY. So just wanted to show you guys this here on the US dollar. All right, on to EURUSD. Just want to give another shout out to Raj, who took a nice trade off of this 4-hour supply zone. I was talking about this 4-hour supply zone the last week's forecast. If you look, we wicked in once, twice, and then came back for the third test, and I believe that is when Raj got involved. It's not really my favorite type of trade when zone is basically tested twice, but it worked out very nice for him, and just wanted to give him a quick shout out. He's one of the YouTube Patreon members, so if you guys want zones like this, check out the YouTuber Patreon membership. Links in the description. Get my daily chart analysis every single day for only $5 cap per month. So I'd hope to see you guys join the team and be using my zones like all the other members. So looking at the call report here for the EURUSD, the past week the banks got rid of 6,100 longs, and they also got rid of 11,000 short positions. Looking at the daily chart here, we're reacting off of this daily demand once again. We had this daily demand break daily supply. We reacted off of it once, and now we're in for a second test. And a lot of you might be asking, will the EURUSD go up from here, right? It's at the low, it's a support level. Will it go up from here? And the only thing I like to do in order to make an assumption and kind of make an educated guess on that is to look at the higher time frame trends. If you look, this is a weekly chart here. Price has just been trending down. We reacted perfectly off my weekly supply zone there. So in my opinion, I do believe we are going to continue to fall. The evidence we would need, like I just pointed out, would be the removal of this daily zone. So once, I would probably hold off on shorting the euro right now until we get the removal of this daily demand, because who knows, we could see another push up. But when that breaks, if that does, the evidence will be in that price is going lower, and then we can start to trade a pullback when price comes a little bit higher. So that's pretty much what I'm waiting here for on the euro. And like I said, hopefully you guys understand my top-down analysis. It helps me a lot in my own personal trading. In order to make educated guesses on where the market's going, and just based on the weekly trend, I do believe the euro is going to be heading down. We just need to kind of be a little bit patient this week and see when this daily demand is broken or if it's not. All right, looking at gold, XAUUSD forecast. The past week, the banks added 593 longs, and they also added 6,100 short positions. First things first, we're just going to look at the weekly chart to get a bigger perspective. Weekly demand is in control again. So buyers are technically stronger than sellers right now based on this higher time frame demand zones. Now, with that being said, let's go to a daily chart here really quick. I just wanted to show you guys this daily chart here. We reacted off this daily demand zone again, wicked right through, but technically this daily demand is still in play. So based on weekly demand and daily demand being in control, we can definitely go ahead and look for potential long positions. If you look at a 4-hour chart, you're going to need to use 4-hour confirmation. And if you don't know what confirmation is, I have a tips playlist, but just really quick, definitely check out that tips playlist. Links in the description. It can help you out with your trading for sure. But just a quick little lesson here on confirmation. Since weekly demand is in control and daily demand is in control, we're looking for a confirmed entry to the long side, and that's going to look like this 4-hour supply zone and downward trend line being removed. So if we get something like this, if we get something like this to the upside where we break this supply and this downward trend line, and there's a 4-hour demand zone right here, that would be our entry, just like that. So that is what I'm waiting for here on gold before hopping in long. because, you know, technically, yes, on the lower time frames like the 4-hour and the 1-hour chart, the trend is down, but on the higher time frames, it's showing us that we are at some significant areas of demand. So that's why I'm waiting for that 4-hour supply to be removed for a confirmation trade to the long side on XAUUSD. All right, USDJPY forecast. And just really quick, make sure you guys look at these two screens right here. This is the weekly chart and the daily chart. These are my two higher time frames. I have my highest time frame right here, second, and then my third and fourth. So just by looking at this, what can you guys see? Well, we see very clear daily and weekly uptrends. That is why I've been saying we should only be looking for buying opportunities in USD yen. If you come to a 4-hour chart though, things are not looking great at all. You can clearly see that on the 4-hour chart, we had lost momentum a few times, pushed up above it, and it actually couldn't end up breaking any higher. So it's looking pretty weak on the lower time frames. We have a 4-hour demand zone right here that is currently in control. It's been tested once, twice, 3 times, coming in for the 4th test, so it's getting kind of weak. So hopefully for a long position here on USD yen, we can get this supply zone removed, leaving us with 4-hour demand, and that would be our potential trading setup where we can look for confirmation in there. But as of now on this 4-hour chart, price is just kind of going sideways, right? We're stuck between, you know, essentially supply up here and demand down here. So, you know, if you want to get in short, which I do not recommend based on the weekly and daily uptrends, what you're going to want to do is wait for this significant 4-hour supply zone to be removed. And if we have a nice 4-hour supply zone right here, 4-hour demand zone removed, if we are left with a nice 4-hour supply zone right here, that could be a quick little day trade, short trade. But other than that, I'd much rather be waiting for longs. And the only time I'd be getting in long is if we can get a removal of this 4-hour supply zone. But until then, I'll just be kind of sitting around and waiting on USDM, but it's definitely on the top of my watch list this week. All right, GBPUSD. The past week, the banks added 6,700 longs and they got rid of 3,400 short positions. Looking at the weekly chart here and the daily chart, just remember price is trending down. So in my opinion, it is clearly indicating that we should only be looking for potential short trades. Now, if you look here on GBPUSD, we're reacting perfectly off of this 4-hour supply zone. So you could technically look for a 15-minute confirmation here or in something like pound yen, GBPJPY. And if you guys do want forecasts and custom analysis on pound yen, check out the tier 2 membership. It's all part of the Patreon YouTube membership. You can get custom analysis. We have a private live stream every Sunday where I post it in the Discord, where we go over any market you guys like. You can request analysis every Sunday, forecast every Sunday and analysis every day of the week. Be happy to see you guys join the team. And there's a lot of great trading opportunities, especially on indexes. We also go over that. So looking at the pound, this is all I see here, this 4-hour supply zone. For potential shorts. So what you're going to need to do is go down to a 15-minute time frame and look for price to start turning around and maybe get in a short trade. And that would be a trade where we are just continuing with this weekly, daily, and 4-hour downtrend. So in my opinion, it's pretty high odds. It's very possible too we just kind of peak above the zone and then fall. So I think looking for a 15-minute confirmation anywhere in this area is 100% fine to do. And let me know if you guys end up taking a trade in here. We'd be happy to see how you guys did. USDCAD forecast. The past week, the banks got rid of 1,359 longs and they also added 3,600 short positions. Weekly chart and daily chart are both trending up on the left side of the screen. But if you look at the 4-hour chart here, we've clearly lost some sort of momentum and we actually reacted perfectly off of one of my 4-hour supply zones. I do believe one of the members got involved in a trade right here to the short side. I'm not 100% sure if he's still holding it or not, but it was a decent little potential short trade after seeing, you know, this momentum start to shift, big move down. You know, it's a decent little trade, but in my opinion, based on the weekly and daily chart, I think it's highest odds to just be looking for longs. But I would not be going long in just yet until we can remove this 4-hour supply zone. And the reason I like that potential setup is because we're on such a strong trend, right? We had a new supply zone that broke demand and broke the downward trend, and we reacted off of the zone already. So this H4 supply zone is proving itself to be a very significant supply zone. So if something like this takes place, where we remove this supply zone and we're left with a demand zone, that would be a very, very powerful potential trading setup. So that's pretty much what I'm waiting here for on USDCAD. You know, on the 1-hour chart, we do have some, you know, uptrends like this. But since the 4-hour chart's not trending, I think it's actually just best to wait for that supply to be removed before getting in long. And like I said, shorts, the one guy took a short, but in my opinion, I wouldn't really want to be trading against this weekly uptrend just because it's, kind of would make me a little bit nervous, and I'd rather be trading with the overall trends. AUDUSD Aussie dollar forecast. The past week, the banks got rid of 2,800 longs, and they also got rid of 484 short positions. The weekly chart and daily chart are all trending down, as well as the 4-hour chart right here. We actually have a beautiful 3-chart downtrend right now. So in my opinion, this is just screaming to potentially hop in short. So there's a few potential options here. Since we have a 4-hour downtrend, technically there's actually a little 4-hour supply zone here as well. It's very, very low quality. But you could technically be looking for a 50-minute confirmation here. The only problem with this chart, yes, we are downtrending. Yes, there's a nice 4-hour supply zone right here, but it would be removing that trend if that came up. So it's kind of a weird situation right now here on Aussie dollar. If you look at a 1-hour chart, we've lost a little bit of momentum by removing a supply zone, but we're actually sitting in a 1-hour supply zone right now. So you could be looking for a 5-minute confirmation trade to the short side. So if we go down to, or I'm not going to go down to a 5-minute chart, but you could definitely go down to a 5-minute chart and look for a little confirmation trade to the short side in there. Other than that, there's really not much to say. You could also be looking for set and forget trades to the downside as well. But to me, it's screaming we got to hop in short here based on the weekly downtrend, daily downtrend, and H4 downtrend. And I'm very excited to see what happens here with the Aussie US dollar. USDCHF forecast. The past week, the banks added 2,800 longs, and they also added 1,455 short positions. Now, this is definitely a weaker looking chart compared to the other charts. If you look at the weekly chart, yes, momentum is up, but the daily chart, we are all over the map here. So in my opinion, this pair is just not on my watch list to be trading. Any trades should only be taken on a 5-minute or a 15-minute chart based on the 4-hour trend or 1-hour trend, and there's not really a trend here. It's just kind of all choppy. Even the 1-hour chart as well. The 1-hour chart has a little bit of an uptrend right now, coming into a 1-hour area of demand. But I do not like this pair right now. I'm actually probably going to wrap this up right now based on this pair. That's a beautiful thing about trading. There's not always a setup, and whenever I see a chart like this, I simply just move on right away. I'll go look at the USD yen, pound, Aussie dollar. There's much better options right now as far as, trending markets go and what you guys could be trading. So I would probably stay away from USDCHF just to be, completely honest with you guys. Last but not least, crude oil. The past week, the banks added 7,500 long positions, and they got rid of 2,640 short positions. Weekly chart, we have a nice uptrend, but if you look at the daily chart here, let me actually just zoom in for you guys. We're clearly just stuck right now in between supply and demand. We have supply up here, demand down below, and we're kind of just sitting in the middle. So that's why I haven't really been interested in trading oil just yet. And if you are, you're going to have to be looking at the 4-hour chart here. And if you look at the 4-hour chart, we had little trends like here, but then we broke above, broke the demand zone, broke back down. So it's just all over the map right now. So with that being said, I really don't see any point in trading oil, especially since we're in the middle of supply and demand. It's just lower odds. So the only thing I would do is if we get this high removed and we have a nice 4-hour uptrend on oil, then we can start to day trade, 15-minute or 5-minute set and forget trades to the long side with a very clear profit margin up to this daily supply. So that's all I would be doing here on oil. This one's just not looking great, and I think that if you just look at the daily chart here, there's something going on where they're either unloading positions or they're unloading a few of their positions and acquiring more just so we can get a higher push up on oil. That's what I do believe is going to happen, but as far as trading opportunities go right now, not really seeing too much. Hopefully you guys found this weekly Forex forecast helpful. If you did, make sure to let me know in the comments down below. Leave a like and check out the Patreon or YouTube membership if you need help finding your supply and demand zones. It's only $5 CAD per month. Hope to see you guys there and hope to see you in the next video.